Hey you pretty people out there. Yep, I'm back again with another look. So let's begin without wasting time. The foundation that I have used today is Urban Decay All Nighter 4.0 is my shade. The next thing that I have used is an eye primer by Urban Decay. The palette that I have used today is Soft Glam Anastasia Beverly Hills, and for the eyebrows I have used Anastasia Beverly Hills Deep Brow Pomade Ebony is my shade. And the first shade from the palette Soft Glam is Burnt Orange, and this goes right over the crease line, starting from the outer corner going towards the inner corner, basically diffusing it as much as I can. The first shade is always the lightest shade, yep. And the next shade from the same palette is Cypress Umber. This goes right over orange, burnt orange, using a blending brush, just like that. And before using any dark shadows, please place some loose powder under the eyes, so that this would prevent any kind of fallouts, especially if you have any foundation on. So Cypress Umber goes over the burnt orange, and starting from the outer corner going towards the inner corner, as you can see, using a blending brush, diffusing it as much as you can. So this is how basically it should look like. And then adding a little bit of more of Cypress Umber and diffusing it somewhere into the first shade, as you can see. And then I'm using Soft Ochre by MAC, and I'm doing a semi-cut crease or half-cut crease, however you call it, using a small flat brush, starting from the inner corner going towards the middle of the eyelid, just like that. You could use a concealer if you have a concealer that is thick enough, but I prefer to go with the Soft Ochre, as this is pretty thick and it doesn't even move. It just acts like a primer. So yep, so it should look like this. And the next palette I'm using is NYX, and I'm using this yellow, beautiful yellow bright shade from this palette. And as you can see, I'm just using a normal flat brush and going over the Soft Ochre that I have used. As I said, if you have a concealer, you may use a concealer, and then you can apply shades like this, like yellow or maybe orange or anything that you want to. You could also go with pink, but I wanted to be a little more creative today, so yep, I used yellow. And it's summer, why not? Try with colors, it's beautiful. I mean, some people are just so scared to use different kind of colors on their eyes, but trust me, when you get used to it, when you like colors, it's just going to look so beautiful. And then I'm diffusing any harsh lines that I see, as with the same blending brush that I've used, Burnt Orange, and then just going over the edges of the yellow shade. And then I'm going with Sienna from the same palette, and basically I'm just going in the middle of both these shades, Cypress Umber and the yellow shade that I used from NYX. And right now I'm just adding a little bit more of Cypress Umber and diffusing it somewhere into the orange shade that I used right now as a transition shade, that's Sienna. And there is nothing much in this look. It's not at all complicated. It may look complicated, but it's not. And then I'm using Sienna once again, and basically I'm just shading with a flat brush. As you can see how I'm doing it, it's just shading in between like that, so that it gives that beautiful gradient kind of effect. So it should just be like that. Let me do a little bit of Cypress Umber on the edges and outer corner, and basically I'm just darkening it some more by adding the shade, and also on the crease line. A little bit of more shading. Let me do a close-up for you I have used sienna and I have used a flat brush, and I'm just going in between both these shades, the yellow and cypress umber from Soft Glam palette, and I'm just shading in between and trying to give that kind of gradient look, gradient effect. And then I'm going with another shade for the inner corner. That's Fairy from the same palette, and this goes on the brow bone as well. And then going back with sienna on the lower lash line. Basically, I'm covering the entire lower lash line with sienna, as you can see. It's a beautiful, beautiful shade. And then going again with cypress umber, and I'm just using a flat brush and starting from the middle of the lower lash line, going towards the outer corner and making it one complete eye look, just like that. Keep adding until you get that desired intensity of the shade on the eyes. And then going again with the blending brush, I'm just diffusing the last shade that I've used, cypress umber, on the lower lash line as well as the outer corner. Should look something like that. And adding a little bit more on the outer corner. I'm just using the foundation that I've used, basically just under the eyes. What I'm doing here is I'm just diffusing any harsh edges that I see, and diffusing it into the shade and making it more neater and basically more diffused. So this is how basically I didn't want the shade to be dragged more out. So I used a foundation just to blending the shade, so that it looks like a bit nicer and it looks more neater basically. So yep. And it's also helpful if you use if you have any fallouts from the dark shades. So yep. So if you wipe out anything and if you just need a touch up, just use a little bit of foundation under the eyes and you're good to go. As you can see, I just need to darken it a little bit and diffuse it some more. So this is one technique you can use in case the lower lashes, the shadow on the lower lash line goes overboard. You can just use a foundation and diffuse it, and it's all good and pretty. For the lashes, for the mascara, I have used Better Than Sex by Too Faced, and this is my anytime the best mascara that I have had, and trust me when I say it, it is the best. And this goes on the lower lashes too. I have used false eyelashes for the still photographs, but if you want, you may skip the false eyelashes and just keep it as it is. If you have really nice long lashes, just keep it as it is. So yep, this is the look without the false eyelashes, and it looks really, really pretty even without. But I wanted to go with the false eyelashes because it enhances the still image, the still photographs. So yep. So this is how it is. Pretty, yeah? Yep. I loved this kind of a look. I mean, it's easy, but at the same time, it is a bit creative also. Yep. Just applying a little bit of more mascara on the lower lash line as well as the upper one, and fill up the waterline, I have used Soft Kajal Eye Pencil by H&M, and it's in white, and I'm just going to fill up the waterline. If you don't prefer anything like this, you may just leave it. There's no need to fill up the waterline, but I wanted to, so yep, this is an option. But it really looks pretty. It really looks pretty when you have the waterline filled. So this is the look now. I just need to brighten under my eyes a little bit more, so I'm using NARS concealer, and my shade is Ginger, and this goes under the eyes, and there you go, just a little bit. And you need not use a lot of concealer to brighten up, as it may look a little bit patchy, but a little bit should do really well here. And then I'm using a brush to diffuse it and blend it into the skin, as you can see. There you go. And then I am using a loose powder just to so that my concealer doesn't crease and it stays in place. Yep, that's me, happy me with the whole look. So yep, the loose powder that I have used today is NARS, and you may use any that you have. So this is how it looks. To contour my face and give it a little bit of structure, I have used Hourglass Stick, and the shade that I have used today is Golden Almond, and I'm just going to give a little bit of structure to my face, and I'm just going to contour lightly, as you can see. And then blending it all into the skin, diffusing it as much as you can, because this is a really important step, and it's very essential to diffuse all the lines that is visible. And this is how you can get this is how you can achieve a really nice smooth skin and a structured face, basically, instead of looking too cakey and too much on the face. The technique is to blend, and especially the forehead, you need to blend it really well into the hairline, so that it looks even. The whole skin, the whole face looks even and looks really beautiful with the structure and the warmness added. So yep. So this is how it is, just into the hairline, diffuse it into the hairline and into the skin as much as you can. But make sure you don't press the brush too much as you have your foundation on. Keep it light, and yep. And that is how it should look like. See? Isn't it easy? Didn't I tell you? It's an easy look. So yep, I'm diffusing it somewhere. I'm basically trying to diffuse all the lines that is visible to me, and into the hairline, into the jawline, as much as I can. Just like that. See? So there are no lines visible at all, and your face looks so neat. The next thing I'm using is a bronzer by Hourglass, and the shade is actually so the name of the shade is Ambient Radiant Bronze Light. So there you go. So this goes on the face, basically the areas that I have contoured. As you can see, it looks so beautiful on the face, especially during summer. You really need the bronzer. It looks so beautiful, just like that. See? It looks pretty natural, and it looks like it's your own skin. And for the blush, I have used NYX Cheek palette, and I have just used this shade from it. You may use any light if you have a coral or a peach, or maybe a little more on the browner side, or if you want, you can leave out the blush too, but I wanted to go with the blush, so I did it. And then blending all of it together, I have used the same brush that I used for the bronzer to apply the bronzer. So basically this looks all natural, neat, and really nice. Loose powder by NARS. I'm basically using it under the contour so that and it gives that jawline really nice. It gives a space between the jawline and the contour a nice sharp edgy feel and a edgy look actually. So this is also an essential step, but if you really don't like it, if you have a broader jawline, you should leave this step, because your jawline will look more broad if you add the loose powder under the contour. And then I'm using NARS Jubilation actually. Oh wow, I finally pronounced one of their products really well. It's their product name really well. And this goes over the blush. Just like that. Actually, this is not necessary because you really can't see this. But if you want, you may go with a highlighter, but I wanted to go with this today as I haven't used this product for a long time. So yep, this is the look without the lipstick. I really loved. For the lashes, I have used House of Lashes Boudoir, and just for your knowledge, for the lipstick I have used Sephora. That's the showstopper today. So this is the final look. I hope you guys, you beauties, all you stunning people out there liked this look as much as I loved creating this look for you. I shall see you in my next videos. Until then, stay cool and stay calm. Bye bye. Take care.